Begun on the J&J coronavirus vaccine after getting support from the FDA and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Now, the first of the vaccines are scheduled to be delivered tomorrow. The company says by the end of next month, they expect to deliver 20 million doses and 100 million by the end of the summer. And joining us right now to talk about the latest with the J&J vaccine is our good friend, Dr. Oz. Happy Monday. Good to see you.
Good morning to you. It's good news on J&J. It got authorized over the weekend. To your point, you'll have lots more vaccines coming out, but there's some logistical benefits as well. It's a single shot, and you don't have to store it at minus 90 degrees Fahrenheit. You can put it in a regular freezer. So it makes it much easier to distribute it in rural areas. It'll make it a faster vaccination process because you only have to have one jab versus two. I want to caution people who think, hey, it doesn't work as well as the other vaccines. That's not true. Only one shot. If you have two shots of it, I bet you'll be similar numbers to what Moderna and Pfizer reported. But the company itself has shared there were no deaths in the people who got the single jab. That's pretty stunning. And that's what we fear, right? It's not so much getting some sniffles, but you don't want to be in an ICU intubated then die. And this vaccine seems to help with that.
Well, Doc, I always like to do the whole comparison thing. And tell me if this is a good comparison or not. We know that the J&J vaccine is 72% effective here in the United States. Compare that to the effectiveness of the flu shot, right? Which on some years is only, a 30% effectiveness.
Exactly right. And we tolerate the flu shot not being accurate because every year we got to guess which versions of the flu are coming to this country. And sometimes we protect against some types of the flu, but other parts sneak in and we don't even know they're there. And so in the case of COVID, we know exactly what's coming at us. Now, it might mutate over the course of the next year or two into variants that are more difficult for us to manage, which is why shutting it down is so important. The more it can spread, the more it can mutate. But right now, even with the New York variant that just got reported over the weekend, we believe the J&J vaccine works against that. So we're in reasonable shape. The key goal here is get everyone covered. One little caveat, by the way, I don't know if people who've had COVID need to get two shots. That's being hotly debated right now. The French have stopped doing it. There's another study over the weekend from the UK showing that the first infection with COVID that you get, if you recovered, basically was your first shot. And so you only need one more shot on top of that, whether it's Pfizer, Moderna, or J&J. So that will accelerate people getting through the system so we can get to that finish line of 70% herd immunity faster.
So, Doc, here in Florida, we've just moved to the medically vulnerable, right? We were only doing 65 plus. Now we're doing medically vulnerable under age 65. Do you feel like the rollout is moving fast enough? Could we move faster? And how do we go about doing that?
Actually, Florida is smack in the middle of everyone's rollout. There, you've got almost 15% of the population vaccinated. That's roughly the national average. Case positive rates here are 6%. Ideally be under 5%, but it's not too bad. The deaths in Florida have increased as they have across the country. But it's now a little lower than last August's peak. So I actually think the state is doing pretty well with the rollout. The key is for people to use those medical excuses that they have, whatever the illness might be, and apply and get in line and get jabbed. The massive vaccination centers are also rolling out and seem to be doing pretty well. Yeah,
and just a caveat here, and I think it's important to note that Governor DeSantis was really clear that he wanted these medically vulnerable people to do it either at their doctor's office or with an actual pharmacist as opposed to just going to a mass site. Would you agree?
I do, because you have to validate whether the letter is legitimate. I mean, unfortunately, people are desperate to get the vaccine, and they will do things that they wouldn't normally do. So having their doctor who knows about their medical history say, hey, you know what, you actually have asthma, or when you were a kid, you got short of breath running up the field, that doesn't count, is important. And that will keep everyone honest.
Absolutely. All right, good stuff. Dr. Oz, always a pleasure, my friend. Have a terrific week.
Stay well. Take care.
Thank you. You too. And, of course, you can watch Dr. Oz weekdays at 2 o'clock right here on Fox 35. Danielle?
Amy, thanks for that. And developing this morning, President